Welcome everybody back to another episode of 30 Years to Life, my top 10 for the year 2010. Now in 2010 I was actually doing YouTube videos and stuff, so let's take a look and see how much has changed in those 8 years since then. Coming in at number 10 is Easy A, starring Emma Stone. Now, to be honest, this isn't really it's an alright movie, but, I like this movie because it kind of took me back to the way, some of the 90s teen movies were. So that's kind of what this movie reminded me of a lot. And Emma Stone is actually really good in this film. Of course, I love her in the Amazing Spider-Man movies that were to follow this. So, and she's just a great actress, and that's the reason why this movie is at number 10. Coming in at number 9 is Tangled, with Mandy Moore voicing the princess in this movie, Rapunzel. Now, I love this movie only because my daughter made me watch this movie over and over again when I was, when she was little, when this movie came out. And to be honest, I like this movie as a Disney princess movie. It kind of took me back to when watching those Disney princess movies, even when I was a kid, when they were released. So, this is a great story and everything. It's a really good movie, good animation, and it really brought forth what was to come, especially next with Frozen and stuff like that. But this is definitely one of the better movies. I like this one a lot better than Frozen, but that's my opinion. What do you guys think? Coming in at number 8 is Alice in Wonderland, starring Johnny Depp and directed by Tim Burton. To be honest, I like this movie. I love the visual effects that Tim Burton always does in all of his movies, and this one was just whimsical and stuff like that. And it was really cool to see these characters. I probably would have gave this movie back in 2010 a lot higher rating after watching for that year, because it was a great movie. But now after so many years out, I'm not as fond of it as I used to be. So that's the reason why it's at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Legion. Now, this is like a Terminator, apocalyptic, angelic type movie, and it is really like Terminator, basically, just with angels and demons and shit. And it kind of takes the place of like horror and also sci-fi at the same time, along with like religion and stuff. And I like this movie. It's actually, I can sit down and enjoy it. The creepy old lady in it is actually really good, and it's just one of those movies you can actually sit down and enjoy, turn off your brain, and just be alright with it. Coming in at number 6 is a movie I know I had higher on at the end of the 2010 when it first came out, and that was Iron Man 2. And even though it was a great movie, it was a good movie, especially because it's Marvel Cinematic Universe, of course, but the thing is, they really set up too much. They was trying to set up their whole universe, really, with this one movie. And this is where it really kind of started, in a ways, as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes. But the movie does lack in certain parts of it, and that's the reason why it's not as high on my list anymore as it used to be. I've actually found myself watching the top 5 movies on my list a lot more than this one. Coming in at number 5 is a movie that will actually surprise a lot of a lot of people who actually know me, that this movie isn't higher as big of a Freddy fan as I am, and I'm a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. And to be honest, I actually praised this movie when it first came out. But now, we're 8 years down the line now, and this movie is just not as good as it used to be. Or, in my thoughts, well, a lot of people actually had a lot of problems with this movie, and you can actually see them. I see them now and stuff like that. But to be honest, the reason why I like this movie so much was because of the fact that it took Freddy back to his basics of what he was. It was supposed to be scary, not as much funny, and that's the reason why. I will do a more fuller review on this as Halloween gets closer. Coming in at number 4 is Predators. Now, what I liked about Predators is they got rid of what Alien vs. Predator, what those two movies had did. And it basically, they put these people on a damn planet and you had to survive. And that's kind of what Predator was. But it still just did not it lacked a lot for me. I mean, it still did not have what I was really looking for, but it is still a movie I actually go back to and watch a lot of. If I catch it on TV, I watch it. I'm not a big fan of the main guy who's playing Royce in this movie. He trying to be Arnold. I'm sorry, you're not Arnold, man. You needed a big bulky guy for this, and it just was not happening. But that's where Predators is number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Toy Story 3, and I'm going to tell you straight out right now, this is my number 1 animated movie of 2010, but also, if this movie did not make you cry at the end, then you have no human soul, basically, because this movie was a tearjerker, and it was very reminiscent of the first 2 films. It had the nostalgia of them and everything, and it just was a great movie, great story, Pixar's best one of their best was this film. Coming in at number 2 is Tron Legacy. I really enjoyed this movie. I liked the special effects that was in this movie. This movie gets a lot of slack on it, just no one really liked it. And to be honest, I know they were trying to build their whole this franchise up after this, but they did take too long to make a sequel from the original. And to be honest, I still never even watched the original. I consider this its own damn movie in a ways, and I liked it. I think it's mostly because of the visual effects that were in it, but I liked it. I liked the 80s type tone to it and everything. It was just a good movie in my opinion, and that's the reason why it's number 2 on my list. And coming in at number 1 is Denzel Washington in Book of Eli. And also this movie also stars Mila Kunis. To be honest, this movie I really liked it. It took me by surprise on how much I like it. It had definitely a Mad Max feeling to it. And it was just, I loved the whole story that was in this movie. And it was, to be honest, I thought a great movie. And that's the reason why it's at my number 1 spot for 2010. It beat all the rest. Alright guys, that's it for my 2010 list. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or you want to see me do a review on any of these movies, please leave it in the comment box below. I can throw those in on my Throwback Thursdays, and that's where I kind of do my special request ones if I don't, if I don't have nothing else I'm talking about that week. But please leave it there. If you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe. And until next time guys, that has been my 30 Years to Life.